Hi, this is Willow from the Business Library. Today we're going to look at Passport and we're going to find international industry analyses. So here we are at the Passport platform, and Passport is really great for finding international information on a number of different industries. So it is very consumer goods focused, so you do need to remember that. You aren't going to find information on things like agriculture or chemicals, for instance. So think very much big box store consumer goods. Um, so it is one of the few resources that we have that does focus on that international information for these industries. So it is a really great source. So we have a search box at the top, and it's not it's not super great because you really have to use the language that they use. So for example, if I search for clothing here, um, we can see that not a lot seems to come up, right? So there's some designer clothing, but not general stuff. It's not fabulous. So I would actually not use the search bar and I would go through a different way. So there are two different ways you can access the information. You can go through the top. Typically, this site does have a lot of different information, but what I'm typically using it for is this industry information. And so we would start with industries, and you can kind of click through and they keep popping down below to see. So we can look at industries. There's luxury and fashion. And then here we have apparel and footwear, right? So they do have some things about apparel, but they're not calling it clothing. They're calling it apparel, right? And so once you get to here, you can explore analysis using this. The other way, which is I kind of like the best way, is to use this search all categories section, this big blue bar in the middle. So we can pick an industry from here. So industries, and click go. And this will actually give us a list of all the different things that they cover. And it's just a nice way to see. It's easy to navigate. It's easy to get to the geographics part as well. So here we can see appliances, drinks, food and nutrition, and there's all these subcategories below: health and beauty, home products, luxury fashion, nicotine, services, B2B, and so on. So we want to look at luxury and fashion. We're going to look at apparel. We can open it up to see the subsections and say, let's look at footwear, okay, instead of clothing, just to change it up. So we're going to look at footwear, and then you scroll down and click the next button. It's a little hidden there. So next, and then it's going to let us pick our geography as well. So here we can see maybe we want to look at, I don't know. Let's find somewhere. Western Europe. Let's go to Denmark. How about? Okay. So let's look at Denmark. And again, then we just click search, which is now at the top here. Okay. So you can see that it covers a lot of different countries, but it doesn't cover every country. So in particular, like if we look at the Middle East and Africa, it's lacking, right? There's a lot of countries in the Middle East and Africa, and there's a very subset that's covered. So it's better with, of course, Western Europe, North America, places like that, that is best. Okay, those are the countries it covers. So we're looking at Denmark. So we now get to this, okay? And you can see right now it lands on the statistics page. And then we have, it's going to give us market size, it's going to give us company shares, brand shares, retail channels, and segment information as well. So right now we can look at, say, company shares. We could view the data set, and it's going to give us some info here. So this is just some data on footwear within Denmark, right? But I'm going to just hop back for a second and show you another thing that I like to look at. What I like to look at is this analysis section in the middle. So if we click on that, it's going to get us to this country report. And so that's really useful to get not just the data, but get the whole context around it. So let's click on that instead. And then this will give us that data again, but it's also going to give us the context surrounding it. Okay, so it's just giving it to us in a full report. So here we have an analysis, right? So there's key findings and developments. We get market size over here, so we can see like this is 2020, so there's a big drop, and then things are slowly expected to come back over time to what they were like before the pandemic. And then, we've got sales performance, we've got category information. So they're breaking it down into 3 categories. We've got some competitive landscape information. So they're saying the company share with the most is Nike Denmark, and then there's Adidas, there's H&M. You probably recognize some of these, but these are like the Denmark versions of them. And then there's also brand share as well, right? So these are the companies that may own multiple brands. Here are the brands down below. So Nike is number one, and H&M is interestingly second. Must be big there. Okay, and so with all of these, you can click on the little tiny squares and kind of get additional information. So if you click on that blue square, we're going to get into the data here. And all of this stuff is changeable, right? You can change the dates. You can usually, sometimes you can go into the future to see if they have a forecast. You can see change how it's displayed as well, and download things as well. So it's really great to be able to look at this information like this. So we can also, if we head back to here, you can see that you can look just at the data graphics. So there's more information there. You can look at international context as well, so how they sit compared to other countries. You can download the whole report as well, and you can find related reports. Okay, so that's an introduction to using Passport to find international industry analyses. Thanks.